Bet small, bet smart, respect the chaos.
Gambling equals risk. Our analysis is AI powered by Spectra AI. Variance matters. Follow the 2% bankroll rule. Models guide, they don't promise.
All right, let's get into our first match of EPL Week 25, and it doesn't get much heavier than this. Manchester United hosting Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford. February football, late winter legs, and a stadium that never forgets who you're supposed to be.
Conditions are classic Manchester grey. Mid-40s, cloud cover heavy, light wind. Nothing extreme, but not exactly friendly either. The pitch will be quick, a little slick, and that matters when both sides want to move the ball vertically.
And it matters even more when one mistake gets replayed on loop for a week. Old Trafford has great acoustics, especially for groans.
This is one of those matches where the table doesn't tell the whole story, but it still matters. United are chasing stability. Not glory, not narratives, just points they're supposed to take at home. Spurs are hanging around the European picture, but with a squad that looks like it's been through a blender.
Yeah, Tottenham right now feels like a team held together by physio tape and optimism.
Let's get into the numbers, because this is one of the clearer model splits we've had this week.
That away number is brutal. That's not upset territory. That's you need something weird to happen territory.
And that's before you factor in where this game is being played.
Tactically, this is structure versus survival. United want control through the middle, slower build-up, heavier box occupation, and sustained pressure. Tottenham, because of injuries, are far more reactive. They'll sit deeper than they want and try to break in moments.
And that's risky here. Spurs without key midfield legs means those defensive transitions get stretched fast. You lose one duel in the middle at Old Trafford, and suddenly you're facing waves.
The injury situation really tilts this. Spurs are missing multiple defenders and midfield connectors. United aren't pristine either, but they're closer to functional.
The agreement is clear. United control the game state in most simulations. They score first more often than not. They generate more shots. They live in the attacking third.
But, and there's always a but, the hesitation is finishing efficiency. The models don't see this as a walkover. They see pressure, not inevitability.
Exactly. This isn't dominance like City at home. It's pressure with consequences if you don't convert.
All right, let's talk tickets, calmly.
The 2-1 shows up repeatedly in the simulations. Spurs still project to score in a decent chunk of runs, especially if United gets sloppy protecting a lead.
And that's why we're not chasing clean sheets here.
Here's the warning label. Old Trafford adds pressure, not comfort. The crowd expects. The noise amplifies mistakes. If this is still level at 60 minutes, volatility spikes.
And the models reflect that. Draw probability stays stubbornly high. This is not a set-it-and-forget-it match.
So the read is this. United are favoured. The data supports them, the venue supports them. But this is February football. Tired legs, loud expectations, and thin margins.
Bet it like a professional, or don't bet it at all.
Before we continue, we're going to pause, just for a moment.
Because some stories don't belong inside analysis, they belong inside memory.
And football, for all the noise around it, has always been a human story first.
On February 6, 1958, a plane carrying Manchester United players, staff, journalists and crew crashed on takeoff in Munich. They were returning from a European Cup match. Many of them never came home.
23 lives were lost, 8 of them players. Others would pass away in the days and weeks that followed. A team and a future erased in moments.
They weren't stars at the end of their careers, they were kids. They were becoming something.
The Busby Babes weren't famous because of trophies. They were loved because of what they represented. Youth, courage, and belief that football could be built the right way.
Many were in their teens, early 20s. Some had barely lived outside football. Families watch sons leave for a match and never return.
And that's the part that statistics can't hold. Parents, brothers, sisters, futures that existed off the pitch.
What followed wasn't just grief, it was rebuilding, slowly, painfully, brick by brick.
Matt Busby survived. And when he returned, he carried those names with him. Every training session, every decision, every step forward.
The club rebuilt not to erase the past, but to honor it. Success came later. Meaning came immediately.
That's why remembrance still matters. Not because it's tradition, but because forgetting would mean those lives only mattered once.
Football endures because people are remembered.
And because stories like this remind us that the game is bigger than the game.
We'll return to the football now. Thank you for taking that moment with us. All right, we return to the football now, and after taking a moment to remember the past, we shift back into the present. Different ground, different energy, but just as much consequence.
Yeah, from history and silence, back into noise and decision-making. Let's do it properly.
Our second match of the week takes us south to the AFC Bournemouth, hosting Aston Villa at the Vitality Stadium. One of the smallest grounds in the league, and one of the sneakiest from a volatility standpoint.
Conditions are fairly calm. Low 50s, partial cloud cover, a bit of wind rolling in off the coast. Nothing dramatic, but enough movement in the air to affect long diagonals and keep a distribution.
And when the stadium only holds about 11 people and a seagull, every gust feels personal.
Let's get into why this match is harder than it looks. On paper, Villa are the stronger side.
And that draw number matters, because this isn't Villa dominating, it's Villa edging.
Yeah, this is not a bully game, this is a don't blink game.
Tactically, Villa want control. Slower tempo, structured possession, manage the game in phases. Bournemouth, on the other hand, are far more dangerous when the match breaks shape.
They don't want long spells of defence. They want moments, turnovers, quick vertical balls, chaos in the channels.
And at the Vitality, those moments feel bigger. Short sight lines, crowd right on top of you, less margin for error.
Villa's risk comes if they over-control. If they get comfortable recycling possession without penetration, Bournemouth's transition profile spikes. This is one of those matches where the models stop holding hands.
When the neural net starts whispering upset, it's usually picking up tempo instability.
And the ensemble? It splits the difference.
Exactly. Ensemble still favours Villa, but it does not suppress the draw. That's the key.
All right, this is where discipline matters.
The scorelines clustering in the simulations are tight. 1-1, 1-2, 2-2. Nothing runaway.
So if you're betting this like a blowout, you're fighting the data.
And if you're forcing action because it's Villa versus Bournemouth, that's ego betting.
This match is about margins, small ground, narrow numbers, competing incentives.
The models see Villa as better, not safer.
And those are two very different things.
All right, before we wrap things up, let's zoom out. Because week 25 is one of those points in the season where the league itself starts talking back to the models.
And it usually says, "You sure about that?"
Exactly. This is where the numbers stop being generous. First thing we're tracking, draw rate. Over the last 4 match weeks, draws are up league-wide. Not dramatically, but consistently.
And that's important, because draws don't spike randomly. They spike when margins compress.
Which is analyst speak for. Teams are tired, cautious, and afraid to lose more than they want to win.
Our models are flagging it too. More matches landing in that 1-1, 0-0, 2-2 band. Fewer blowouts, less separation.
Next piece, home advantage. And this one surprises people.
Home advantage is decaying as the season progresses. Early in the year, crowd energy, freshness, and optimism give you a measurable boost. By week 25, that boost flattens.
Yeah, the crowd's still loud, but it's not generous anymore. It's judgmental.
And that matters. Because pressure doesn't always help the home side. Sometimes it tightens them.
The data shows away teams becoming more comfortable grinding out results late in the season, especially mid-table sides with nothing to lose.
This next trend is subtle, but brutal. Injury clustering.
By week 25, injuries stop being isolated. They cluster by position groups: defenders, midfield connectors, wing-backs. And when that happens, team structure degrades fast.
It's not about missing one star, it's about missing roles, chemistry, familiar rotations.
And the models hate instability. Even strong teams see confidence intervals widen once rotations get forced.
Which is why we're seeing fewer high-confidence picks overall. Not because the models are weaker, but because the league is messier.
And finally, my favorite chaos metric, late goal volatility.
Goals after the 75th minute are up. Not by luck, by fatigue. Pressing drops, spacing breaks, substitutions misfire.
And emotionally, that's where seasons turn. A point gained, 2 points dropped, a crowd deflated.
It's also where bettors lose their minds.
Which is why discipline matters more now than in September.
So the takeaway from week 25 isn't just about who's better.
It's about how thin the margins have become.
Fewer certainties, more landmines, and a league that punishes confidence without context.
This is the phase of the season where the smartest move is often restraint. Read the numbers, but respect what they're telling you.
And if the numbers feel nervous, they probably should.
All right, let's bring it home. Week 25 in the Premier League gave us pressure, memory, and margins that don't leave much room for bravado. Match 1, Manchester United versus Tottenham. The data leaned home, the venue amplified the edge, but the message was restraint. United favoured, yes, but only if you respect the draw risk and the emotional weight of Old Trafford.
Match 2, Bournemouth versus Aston Villa. Bigger gap on paper, much smaller gap in reality. Villa were better, not safer. The draw sat there the entire time, waving quietly at anyone willing to listen.
And anyone who ignored it probably felt that silence get very loud.
One sentence on the league right now. This is the part of the season where the table lies less, but the margins lie more.
Let's say it clearly. Models do not equal certainty. They describe likelihoods, not promises.
And confidence without discipline is just optimism with a debit card.
Some weeks, the sharpest play isn't a clever angle or a perfect number.
It's no bet at all.
No bet is still a decision, and often it's the right one.
Thanks for spending this time with us, for the analysis, for the pause, and for remembering that football is more than results.
Protect your bankroll, respect the chaos.
And let the numbers guide you, not rush you.
The Gambler's Ruin Project, where the odds get cracked and the history is never forgotten.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Gambler's Ruin Project. Remember, our content is for informational and entertainment purposes only, and all predictions are AI generated. Gambling can be addictive, so please bet responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help with gambling addiction, there are resources that can provide support. In North America, contact the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-522-4700, available 24/7 for confidential help. In the UK, reach out to Be Gamble Aware at 0808-8020-133 or visit begambleaware.org for more information and support. Bet smart, bet safe, and as always, remember to keep things fun and balanced. We'll see you next week for more insights. Thanks again for joining us. And don't forget to hit subscribe for more AI-driven predictions and pro betting tips every week. This content does not constitute an offer to participate in gambling. The Gambler's Ruin Project does not operate as a bookmaker or betting service and does not encourage gambling. All users are responsible for complying with local laws and regulations regarding sports betting and gambling-related content in their respective jurisdictions. The Gambler's Ruin Project, where the odds get cracked.